Welcome to Everything Arsenal and welcome to the predicted lineup for Chelsea against Arsenal. Big game this weekend. A chance to remain top of the table. Obviously, if we don't win this game, the chances of us being top of the table by the time we get to the World Cup basically 10% only. Like Man City are playing Fulham and Brentford at home. I expect them to win both of those games. And we have Chelsea away and Wolves away. So we have the tougher two games between now and the World Cup. So if we win this one, I'll be very confident of us being top of the table by the World Cup. And we've done so well this season. The 3-4 big games we've played so far this season. We scored 3 against Liverpool on that game. We scored 3 against Tottenham on that game. But Man United put 3 against us when we went away from home to a big 6 team. So this is going to be an interesting game. I am confident. This is like the first time we are going to Stamford Bridge, and I'm very, very confident. Usually, I am never confident heading into this game, especially the last, since 2010. There's a time they scored 6 against us, and that time they had like Andre Schall and a one-legged Eto or something like that. So another time they scored 2-0, 2-0. There's a time they usually used to beat us like 2-0, 2-0 every single season with Diego Costa scoring every time. But this time around, having won the last 2 times they traveled to Stamford Bridge, looking good right now. Saka is fit. Players like Zinchenko are back. Chelsea having a bit of trouble with the injuries. Reece James is injured. Chilwell is injured. Kovacic didn't play the last game. And also the way they're changing their formation every single game, playing with Sterling at right wing back, playing with Pulisic at right wing back. I feel like we can take advantage of their weaknesses. So I will go through the predicted lineup and also my prediction at the end. Let me know what you expect from this game. Do you expect us to win easily? Do you expect it to be a tight game? Because at the end of the day, it's still Chelsea. It's still Chelsea, still away from home. What do you expect? So in terms of the lineup, goalkeeper, no surprises. It's definitely going to be Aaron Ramsdale. Played against Zurich, kept a clean sheet. Definitely happy with him being there. He will probably have a lot, not a lot, but he will have saves to make. We expect him to make like 4 to 5 saves in this game up against Mount, maybe even more, like against the likes of Mount, Sterling, and Aubameyang, who's trying to prove a point. So Aaron Ramsdale starts in goal. And then at right back, I think it's quite easy as well. Ben White starts once again. He was subbed off for Tomiyasu, but Tomiyasu got injured. Now we are down to 2 right backs once again. Ben White is not even an actual right back, but he's playing that. So the only backup he now has is Cedric, because it looks like Tomiyasu won't be there until after the World Cup. But Ben White at right back, no problem with that. He's actually helping us in terms of attacking as well. He's provided a couple of assists the last 1 month. And in terms of defending, I have no problem with him. In terms of the centre backs, I think Saliba will definitely return for this one in place of Rob Holding. He will be up against Aubameyang, so he's never really. Yeah, he's played with Aubameyang maybe for 1 game, but first time he will be needed in this game a lot to keep Aubameyang quiet, because we don't want anything crazy. Imagine if he scored a hat-trick or something like that in this game. What would we tell people? And then Gabriel next to him. Gabriel definitely knows Aubameyang well, so he is definitely needed. Both of them to mark Aubameyang and Sterling, depending on what formation they play. They could play with 4 defenders. They could play with the back 5, meaning they have 2 forwards. They could have 3 forwards, Mount on the right, Havertz on the right. They could have anything. But that is the defense so far that I expect. And then left back, Zinchenko is back. But Tierney played well against Zurich, got man of the match. So I think he does deserve to start in this one. And if it's the Tierney that we saw against Zurich, if it's the Tierney we saw in the last 2 years where he attacks and attacks and attacks on the left side, it would definitely help us. So that is the defense I do expect against Chelsea. That's the defense I expect at Stamford. That's probably the same I would go for. So it's looking like this so far. Ramsdale in goal, Tierney at left back, White at right back, Saliba and Gabriel at centre back. So midfield wise, I think it's pretty easy. Thomas Partey comes back in for El Neni. We know his qualities. He saw his goal against Tottenham. He's been nominated for goal of the month for that goal. They didn't nominate the Nottingham Forest goal. I'm not sure why, but both goals are really good. He's not afraid of shooting. He definitely controls that midfield. If he's not there, you definitely miss him. And up against Jorginho, maybe Kovacic, the likes of Loftus-Cheek, he'll definitely be needed as well. And then really, really happy to have this guy back. He was suspended against Zurich Zurich. So Granit Xhaka, it not only helps us in midfield alongside Partey. When they play together, they're very good. But Xhaka is also helping in terms of attacking. He scored goals, assisted goals this season. Like PSV scored our winning goal at home. One of the reasons why he managed to finish top of that group. So Xhaka next to Partey, and then obviously our captain returns for this one. He also was rested against Zurich, but came on. So I think that is the easiest positions to predict for Arsenal. Partey in midfield, Xhaka next to him, and Odegaard, our captain, next to the both of them. So that's the midfield. And then in terms of the forward line, I think it's also easy to predict these days. Martinelli does start at left wing. He didn't play a single minute against Zurich, so he is fresh, and I think he will be the most important player for us in this game. Like as I said, if they play with the back five, they will have like Sterling or Pulisic or a non-defender at right back. Martinelli can take advantage of that. There's no risk, James. So tracking back the right winger, right wing back or right back who's going forward and back. Martinelli might not have that job to do because it might be someone like Azpilicueta playing there, and I would fancy Martinelli up against Azpilicueta. So that is a position we have to take advantage of, and he's done well before in this stadium at that ground. So he starts at left wing for sure. And then at right wing, I'm very, very happy to put Bukayo Saka there because he definitely adds something. Let's not lie to ourselves. If Bukayo Saka wasn't in a game like this, then you'll definitely miss him. Like just not having my Saka in this game, you'd see fans moving from a prediction of 4-1 to 1-1. That's how important Saka is in such a game. And then up front, I really do think he'll finally score in this one. Gabriel Jesus starts up front. He's not been playing poorly. He gets involved in the game always. He creates chances for himself most of the times. He assists goals. So far this season he has. So no problem with him starting up front next to Martinelli and Saka. So this is how it would look like. At goalkeeper Ramsdale, a back four of Tierney, Gabriel, Saliba, Ben White. Midfield of Xhaka, Partey, Odegaard, and then a forward line of Saka, Martinelli, and Jesus. But what about the bench? Will the bench be enough to, in case things don't go our way and we are 1-0 down in the second half, or we are drawing and you're trying to get a win and all that, or if players are tired or player is not performing, which players can come from the bench? So this is how our bench will look like. Now you're not going to have Tomiyasu once again. You're not going to have Smith Rowe. Those kind of players that usually help us from the bench, you're not going to have them. But and Matt Tan, I think he might be back for KJ Hein, but I don't think. Hopefully, the goalkeepers are not needed from the bench. So KJ Hein, Zinchenko, Cedric Holding, El Neni, Lokonga, Fabio Vieira, Nketiah, and Nelson. So 9 subs. Matt Turner could be in for KJ Hein instead. And then, as you can see, Marquinhos is not in that match day squad. But if he wants to put him in, then that means he has to drop one of the fullbacks, and that probably will be Cedric out for Marquinhos on the bench. But you would expect Zinchenko to come on, whatever the result for Tierney. You would expect Fabio Vieira to come on. You would expect Nketiah to come on, whatever the result. So hopefully we can get the job done in this match. Now, prediction is very, very tricky. As I said, last 2 years we won there 4-2. We won there 1-0, get a clean sheet 2 years ago. 2 wins in a row at Stamford Bridge. We had gone, I think, 10 years without winning at Stamford Bridge, but we've won the last 2. And I'm very confident right now, especially in our away games. We've gone to Crystal Palace, kept a clean sheet, Brentford, Bournemouth, all these teams. And in all of those games, we literally scored like in the first 10 minutes. So I'm pretty confident for this one. I am going to go for Chelsea 1, Arsenal 3. Yes, that is my prediction. Chelsea 1, Arsenal 3. I'm going to go for all the front 3 players to score. Saka, Jesus, Martinelli. I can see Arsenal scoring and then potentially Chelsea equalizing, and then maybe the other 2 goals coming in the second half. The quick starts usually make in the second half, and then when they're chasing the game, hopefully get a third through a counter-attack or something like that. We can also catch them off guard in terms of set pieces. But that is my prediction. Let me know your prediction. It's not going to be easy. Let's not make it look like Chelsea is a terrible team. They only really lost to Brighton and struggled a bit against Dinamo, but before that they were unbeaten under Graham Potter. They were winning all the games. The thing that I really feel could help us is the fact that he's rotating a lot. He still doesn't know his best team, still doesn't know it. He's playing with a back 5, a back 4, and also Thiago Silva up against his countrymate Jesus. I think Thiago Silva is a bit slow there, as we saw against Brighton last week. those three players up front are very important for us in this game. Martinelli, Jesus, and Saka. I usually say Partey is the most important player in this game or that game, or I say the defenders are the most important players. You might even end up saying Ramsdale is the most important player when you're playing like a team against like a team like Man City or something like that. But in this one, the front three. Saka against the left back, whoever it is, maybe Cucurella. Martinelli up against whoever, whether it's Pulisic or whether it's those Piliquet, and Jesus up against Thiago Silva. So that is my prediction. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you on the next one.